Hello and welcome back to LTC Heroes Live by Experience Care. My name is Peter Murphy-Lewis. I'm your host. I'm at LeadingAge Nebraska. I got it right. Day 3. Today I'm excited because it's the first time I'm talking to a director of finance. She's the director of finance from Douglas County Health Center, DeDe Will. DeDe, welcome to the program.
Well, thank you, Peter.
I want to start off with what makes your organization unique, because I've heard from Kirsten that you guys are unique. I want to hear it from you.
Okay, we are unique. So we have a 254-bed long-term care facility in Omaha, Nebraska. It is the second largest long-term care facility in the state. But we're an old facility. When I say that, our building is over 100 years old, so we are not brick and mortar, not like a lot of the other long-term care facilities to start with. We've got 4 levels. We've got 10 neighborhoods over those 4 levels, so that's challenging for a long-term care. It's not the hub and spoke concept that we normally have, and we have a little bit different population.
How long have you been there?
13 years.
So talk to me about challenges, older challenges, newer challenges. The director of finance, what did you struggle with 13 years ago, and what's your challenge today?
Well, I think my first day on the job, I came in and the director for the county, the finance director, said, you have a $3 million overage in your budget and we have to cut that out in a week. And that's where I'm at today too. We've done better.
I bet you didn't laugh 13 years ago.
I did not. I was like, what did I walk into? Nobody told me this during the interview, but we got through that, and we're still getting through it today. But obviously money is still, as a county facility, we are taxpayer. We like to be good stewards of the taxpayer dollar. So we have unique challenges.
I want to talk to you about kind of your initiation story into long-term care, because being a director of finance, you could have worked anywhere. You could have worked in an industry where you'd probably make 3 times as much money, an industry where it'd be easier, where you wouldn't have the same amount of burnout. Tell me about how you got into long-term care and why you still love it.
Sure. When I started in public accounting, straight out of college, I went into a facility or a firm that did healthcare. And so I was on the healthcare side of that. So I audited for them for 11 years, and I did a lot of rural facilities. I had developmentally disabled folks in some of the facilities that I went and audited and consulted for and did budgets for. So I kind of got indoctrinated into that. Decided maybe I needed to change that a little bit and went into the private sector. Did not like the private sector. Found it just very cold and just not really mission driven, money driven, all right. Money driven. So one of my first partners at that firm said, hey, there's a position open at Douglas County Health Center. I think that you would really like it and it would be great for you. And I went and interviewed, and that's where I ended up.
Do you have any stories, either stories where once in a while you're walking the halls and you ran into a resident, or stories working in with teammates where you're like, you know, my partners were right. I found the right place for me, and I love it here.
Yeah. Probably both. Every day you run into residents in the halls and just absolutely adore them. At one time we had a COO that was starting, and I did not know who this person was. He was coming to interview. And I happened to get into the elevator with a resident, and then I was helping another resident do something, and he came into the interview and he said, I've never seen a facility that is so caring. He goes, I did not know who you were. He goes, but you're the director of finance. You're helping people in the elevator. You're helping them get around the corners. You're helping them do this. He goes, this is unique. And so I felt like that with that recognition, I'm in the right place. This is where I need to be instead of just sitting behind the desk and pushing numbers all day.
DeDe, thanks for sharing your story. I want to talk about why you come to LeadingAge Nebraska, the convention and the community. Now, you're on the board, so I know you have to come, but you smiled, so you want to come here. Tell me what you look forward to when you come here.
Folks as you. I mean, it is fun to go meet others in the industry. In Omaha, we're kind of in our little silo, and so it's nice to get out and meet some of the folks that are in more rural facilities. They face the same challenges that we do, and some even more challenging with staffing and whatever, because of their remoteness. So just coming and listening, and some of the enlightening stories. You got our keynote speaker that spoke at the very beginning of the conference. It just makes you feel like you know what, you can do this. If you're feeling a little tired, a little burnt out, take a step back and you can do this.
I'm glad you mentioned the keynote speakers because I feel a little bit left out because I've been doing amazing interviews all the time.
Yeah.
And every person comes in, whoa, I just left this breakout session. I learned X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
And I get to ask them about it, but I don't get to experience in the same way. I know Kirsten, the president and CEO, would like for me to ask you this. If someone's watching this and they're not a member of LeadingAge Nebraska, why should they come here? What will they learn from the community and from their peers?
That they're not alone. That they are not alone. You can come here and bounce ideas off of people. What have you done? What works? What doesn't work? You know, geez, you've had that. Oh, I haven't had that happen to me yet. Where is it going? And people just, they really just, I mean, it's just like a walk in the hall. You stop and you say, hey, where are you from? How are you doing? What's going on in your facility? So,
DeDe, as we start to wrap up, my last question for you is about the intangibles of long-term care. And I'm asking you because I don't always get to talk to someone in the back office, but you obviously pick up that this industry is unique and there's a lot of things that this work does to change us when we go home. Changes us as mom, dad, cousin, neighbor, sister, outside of our profession. What are the intangibles of long-term care for you that you've learned?
Gosh, there's a lot of lonely people out there, and a lot of people that just need a hug some days. A lot of people that need, hey, how are you doing? And when you go home, you get to go home. You get to go, do what you want to do. You get to go to a movie when you want to go to a movie. You get to go out to eat when you want to get to go out to eat. Some people are just not as fortunate, and so it's just really important that if you help those people as much as you can into a normal life. Yeah.
DeDe, there's a big team of people behind me on the podcast that help me out. And on behalf of the LTC Heroes, I want to thank you, being a board member, for inviting us to your convention. It's been a pleasure, and thanks for sharing your story.
Well, thank you.